Greetings all you maniacs with minds on crimes, and welcome back to another Warframe weapon showcase. Today, we are going to be taking a look at the Kuva Hind, a weapon that surprised me just how freaking strong this weapon is. My god, I absolutely love this thing. Now, the first time I made it, spawned it from a lich, it had cold because I used Gara. Why does Gara give cold? I thought she gave heat. Because glass? Whatever. So I scrapped it, then I spent quite a long time trying to spawn it with innate heat, because that's what I usually do, because I hate fighting radiation liches. Oh my god. Anyway, so it has like, I think it's like 20% heat, something like that. So here is the first build. There's two builds. Okay, so this weapon has a lot going for it. And a lot going on, honestly. First things first, it has a burst fire, which is 5-round burst. It's not 3, it's 5. Kind of reminds me of a weapon in Advanced Warfare, but that was 4-round burst. And then there's a semi mode, which has higher critical stats, but less status, and higher base damage, much higher base damage. And then auto, which is, it's very focused towards slash, and has good crit and good status. So yeah, I typically stick with the burst fire, but I will be showing all three. So don't worry, Oberon has nothing on him. By the way, Oberon Prime and Necros Prime are unvaulted, so you can go after them if you want. I would recommend Oberon over Necros, but I mean, that's just me. I've never used Necros. That's probably why. So the burst fire, yeah, it's 5-round burst, 2.2 second reload speed. Simi, it has a lot of recoil for some reason. I don't know why it jumps like that. And then auto, it's just like an assault rifle. So very straightforward. So on the first row, I'm going to be using the burst, which is what I usually do. So this is the main fire mode I use. So yeah, it destroys. It is super strong. And yeah, obviously the semi is pretty strong, but it uses 3 bullets per shot. So yeah. And then I'll respawn the enemies, and then we'll do the full auto test. So when I go full auto, it works very well. I will definitely not fault you for using nothing but the auto mode, by the way, because it is good. But me personally, is it going to die from the slash? Yep. I just use the burst fire. This thing is basically the Tiburon Prime. I don't know if it's stronger than the Tiburon. I'm kind of tempted to say it is. But at the same time, I'm really, really not sure. I have not done a direct comparison. I don't know if I'll do a direct comparison video, because it's typically not what I do. So I said 2 builds. So the second build is a viral build. There's no hunter munitions here. Why? This gun don't need it. This thing has such high amount of slash procs, even with its burst fire, and such a high critical multiplier, and just how powerful this weapon is in general. You don't need 100 munitions. You can if you want, but honestly, Vigilante Armaments is a better deal, and the multi-shot is the main thing, not the crit ups. The crit ups are very nice, but on Oberon, I don't see very many crit ups because, well, I don't have Vigilante set mods on him, simply because there's no room. So how well does it work with a viral build? I'd say very well. Very well. Look at all them bleeds. And also the damage over time from heat is also helping. Now this will absolutely murder Corpus. Like, Corpus cannot withstand this for very long. But it's also very good against Grenier. I am MR21 right now. So I can, in fact, go up to level 135, but I'm not going to. But I mean... yeah. And my due diligence, I will use the semi and full auto mode with the viral build, so you guys can see comparisons. So obviously the semi mode is probably going to do very, very well. Yeah, look at them ticks. If you don't have Prime Shred, I can completely understand it because you can only get it from logging in. Look at them ticks, damn. Then just use normal shred. I would definitely recommend any sort of fire rate mod. You don't need punch through, but honestly, punch through is super, super helpful. A lot of people say, oh, you're kind of wasting damage if you have punch through. Not really, especially if you do missions that I do most of the time, like disruption or arbitrations. You definitely want punch through. So full auto. See, you can just sort of mag dump into their face and it's going to work. Now, I will do a final test before I go crazy with Mirage and shit like that. With Hunter Munitions. So. But I'm only going to use the Burst Fire because it's typically what I use. I really don't use anything else. So, you just do this, and then you have Hunter Munitions. Now, the problem with Hunter Munitions is this weapon slashes like fucking no one's business, so you're going to get crit slashes no matter what. That's why I would kind of advise against Hunter Munitions. But, you know, it does work. It does give you more slashes. But the whole Hunter Munitions needed on every single crit weapon is really, really annoying. Because it absolutely is not needed on every single motherfucking weapon in the game. And I'll use the semi on this. Just sort of shoot through the crowd and bleed them all. So yeah. Very, very nice. This weapon, oh my god, I was unbelievably surprised. I was super happy that this weapon turned out as good as it is. So, one last thing, you can also go ahead and use Infected Clip and you'll get more, like, corrosive, for example. But, if you keep your corrosive and slash, or viral and slash very close together, they're both going to be proccing all the time. And honestly, I feel like that will work out more often than not. Now, in the X-List mod slot, you don't really need anything, but if you want to, you can go ahead and put on Vigilante Supplies. This weapon does not run out of ammo at all. No, it will not. It won't. But the crit ups would be rather helpful. Stabilizer, I guess you could make an argument for, but this weapon doesn't recoil like at all, so there is that. Anyway, let's go crazy with Mirage, because why the fuck not? And I need to make sure I have the right build, not my Explosive Legendman Mirage, but the Mirage that literally has about 10% more power strength. So, obviously this is gonna just destroy. Yeah. These buffs are kind of nuts. Oh man. Wait, is this thing a one-shot with Mirage with the semi mode? Hold on. I don't think it is, but it might be. No. But goddamn. I really don't like that recoil. So, final thing, let's go with Harrow and give this thing crit. So this is my Harrow build. I don't play Harrow as much as I can. Ignore this memes. So let's just do this. So of course, let's unpause the AI. Is Harrow worth going for? Yes. Is he a pain in the ass to get? Yes. Could he be better? Yes. But he's great. And also, this thing is a goddamn laser. So yeah. This weapon is fantastic. This weapon is super good. Like, okay, I've heard horror stories that the Hind, before the Kuva Hind, was probably like the trashiest rifle you could ever make. I'm sure it'd be fine for newer players because it's like, oh, a burst rifle that can, hit pretty hard. Although, if you're a new player and you want like an assault rifle, I would honestly think the Burston might be better, or the Karak or the Karak Wraith, or the Bratton Prime. But I mean, Bratton Prime's MR8. So this weapon, damn, it's so good. By the way, 2 Forma. This thing comes with 1 V polarity, so there is that. I don't put in the 5 Forma because 1, I don't have a million Forma, and 2, I don't care about my MR anymore. I'm MR21. I don't need to go any higher. I could, but I really don't care to. But this weapon, is it stronger than the Kuva Kortak? No. No. The Kuva Kortak is way stronger than this weapon, especially with its burst mode. But this weapon is a very close second, and this weapon kicks ass. So definitely go for it. I would recommend Heat, Toxin, or Electricity. Personally, I would just go Heat because Heat is very, very effective now. Removes armor. It crowd controls enemies, and just generally is a very good status proc. Cold needs some love, but if you want to dedicate this thing to viral, then you can go for Cold if you want to. I think this thing with a 60% Cold and Prime Cryo rounds with like Malignant Force and Hunter Munitions might be a force to be reckoned with, but I'm not a huge fan of viral. It's a fine damage type, especially on melee, but I find it kind of unreliable sometimes. The whole having health, it doesn't seem like it does, though. I'm going to be real with you, Chief. It feels like it doesn't. Anyway, Rivens. I don't know, because this weapon has so many modes to it. It has 3 different modes. If you're going for burst fire, I'd say critical chance, critical damage, multi-shot, I guess, or raw damage, or, something like that, maybe plus an element. It honestly doesn't matter because fuck Rivens. This weapon is great. I would definitely fucking recommend getting this weapon because it hits hard, it's super accurate, it's easy as hell to use, very simple to build. You technically only need 2 Forma, and it will obliterate everything. If you're not into burst rifles, this weapon is still good for you because it has the auto and semi modes. I kind of wish the semi mode had a scope. That'd be cool, but I think that'd be a little bit too much because this thing doesn't need to be like a DMR battle rifle hybrid. So yeah, that's the Kuva Hind. Very impressed with it. Very happy with how it turned out. Now, what other Kuva weapons could they release? I have no idea. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed. Next up is the Kuva new core. I have it, and I will do a video on it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, in Trilby, we trust.